Hi, my name is Gabriel. I'm gonna talk about general controls from a trust service principle perspective. So, basically, they are controls criteria for using attestation or consulting engagement to evaluate, report, or on controls over information and systems across the entire company. So, they have division, operating unit level, function to the corporation operation reporting. They have the objectives, and also these controls can the service controls can be used for a particular type of information used by the company. And each organization they should decide which combination of IT better suitable for his company. So, and they have to making sure that the benefits of each control it's outweighed of its cost. So when you're considering it IT risk, organizations should implement house IT controls which are cost beneficial. So they have to see which the cost is benefit or not for his company. Um, and this trust services principles is categorized in 5 categories. The first one is security, where these systems protect against unauthorized people. Um, so it's physical and logical access. So informations are protected against these people who doesn't have access to this information, and damage to the system that could compromise the availability, integrity, confidentiality, and privacy of the information system. The system availability. The system is available for operation and use commitment or agree. So, information and systems are available for operation and use to meet the company objectives. And another category is processing integrity, where the system processing is complete, accurate, timeline, and authorizing. So the system process is complete, it's valid, it's like timelines, and authorized to meet the company objectives. And we have also online privacy. So where the information, personal information, it's obtained as a result of e-commerce. So for this online privacy, it's only for e-commerce. It's basically only for e-commerce. And it's collect, use, disclose, and retain in a commitment or agreed. So this personal information is collect, it's used, and retain, disclose, and disposed to meet the company objectives. Also, we have the confidentially that the name says, like the information is designed as confidential, it protects commitment or agreed. So, as the name says, it's the information is confidential for the company objectives. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about hardware and software exposures in IT system. So there are many different types of hardware and software that can be used in IT based in accounting systems. So that is not possible two companies has the same hardware and software configurations. Each organization selects, implements the system according with their needs. So there are many possible configuration of hardware and software that can be used in organizations. And so I select some of them, and then I'm gonna talk about a little bit about um, each hardware and software that it's mostly used for the companies. So first of all, we have this operating system where the software that can controls the basic input and output activities of the computer. The the system can be entry point for hackers. So operating system can allow a user to access like all important data. They can have like access to all IT system from the company. And since all information, application, software, and database works through the operating system, it allows to applications and database, so they can have like access to all these applications and database. And the database, it's a exposure area because people who are not authorized, they can have access to the data, can compromise the security confidentially of the data, and potentially interfere in the availability and normal process of IT system. So hackers can gain access to use the data, can browse they can browse through the data, can compromise the security and confidentiality of the database. So it's very dangerous as well. So also in the database we have the management system, where it's above like the database. Like the management system use like have a lot of data. They have a lot of information from the company. So they pose security, confidentiality, availability, and process internet risk. Since this database, the management database reads and writes data to the database. So once the hackers have access to this, they are able to browse, alter, they are able to steal data. So once they have access to this database management, is very dangerous and exposed for the company. Also, we have LANs and WANs. So since they are connect into large group, like large network of servers and computers within like a company, when they represent a big risk for exposed areas, because anyone who has access to a workstation on the law can have access to the data. So it gets very dangerous because they are connected to like a large network. So once you have access to this, they can have access to like the network within the organization. They can have access to all data from the organization. So it poses security, confidentially, availability, and processing all the risks, like all the risks. So once hackers have access to this, they can browse, steal, alter data, and yeah, and also they can manipulate these data or program through the LAN, and can have affect the availability and they can have access to they can have affect the availability. So the last one that I chose was wireless network, and this wireless network, it's very used nowadays. They become very popular nowadays because in organizations they allow works to connect to the network without being connected to any cable. So people prefer this because they're not like stuck on his table or whatever. So, and also the wireless can, they can save so much like time, money, and yeah. So people prefer using wireless nowadays. But wireless is another potential entry of people who are not allowed to have access to the data, and therefore wireless, he can expose of security. They can have risk of support like security, confidentiality, availability, and process integrity. So it's another like harmful for the company. So yeah, hope everything is good. Thank you.